It all starts off with putting the forms up. The forms, the perimeter of the house for the concrete. I always check those, the setback from the curb. And I check my plumbing once it's in. Once the concrete gets ready to pour, I measure all the forms, make sure everything's right, the cables and so on. I mean, I'm like, you got a county inspector, then you have me. So we really have two sets of eyes watching the home. So I just make sure everything's right so we don't have any problems later on. I just refuse to tear out drywall. I'm very thorough about making sure we have a home that we can be proud of as a builder and as the owners to be. You get a lot of people now that are just, they're not quite hands-on like I am. I get in there, I get dirty, I sweat. You know, I walk my homes, I'm right in there with the guys. I get on a first name basis with all my vendors, my contractors. I think that's very important. That shows respect. And I don't do my work from the windshield of my truck or from a schedule, sitting down at a desk going through paperwork. I'm in the house checking things. And we do a lot of explaining so they understand the process and what's going on and what's happening next. A lot of them take photos so they know where to hang a picture, where the framing might be, and so on. But it's an exciting time at the frame stage because they see everything before it's covered up, how all the sticks and bricks come together. Typically on my framing stage, I'll write 3 pages on a legal pad, and my final punch list stage, that varies anywhere from 4 to 8 pages of just stuff I want done to make the house complete and finished. And I have a lot of my contractors think I'm a little too picky, a little too anal, so to say. But they also say, you know what, Dan, if I ever built a house, I'd want you to be my builder. So that goes a long way. I always do my frame walk before the homeowner's frame walk, so there's no surprises. So I'll go through all the notes first, which I'm already pretty familiar with. Then I'll go through all my construction notes. And then I have my own checklist that I've developed over 29 years, and so does Dorn. So I combine my list, their list, check everything out. And then once I got that done, you know, we schedule the appointment way ahead, 2 or 3 weeks ahead, so the homeowners can make arrangements to be here in case they're out of town. So we go through all their notes when they get here. If they have any questions or concerns, then we address it then. We're not going to rush them. We're going to make sure everything's right before we start insulating and doing sheetrock. Most of the time, if they come for the frame walk, there's not going to be any surprises because everything that's supposed to be in the walls is already there. If they're going to be surprised, then I'm going to be surprised. We're both going to be surprised because I really go through my paperwork. And I think that's what really helps us on the end result, so they can go in at the walkthrough and just enjoy their home. And usually I have to pull them aside because they're hoo and hawing about this and that, and I want to keep them moving, you know, show the home to them, demonstrate the home to them, orientate them about their home. But I've had 2 in the last couple of months that they were crying at the walkthrough. They were so happy. But I had to tell them, you got to stop there. We got to walk your house, your home. The way I do things is me. It's not necessarily the way somebody else would do it. But I like to think that I'm very thorough, and that helps me. I think I go over and beyond the call of duty to complete a home in the way that I want it to be, a home that I could live in and be proud of. It's a passion. I mean, we're building the American dream. That's a big ticket item.